I'm Shelley LaBelle, the Director of Archives for the Preservation Foundation of Palm Beach. I'm going to explain how the Foundation acquired the John Volk collection and how we processed the items by establishing workflows to inventory, rehouse, and preserve the collection. In August of 2018, the Foundation received the John Volk collection, donated by his son. As you can see, this was quite the undertaking. We were fortunate in that generous Foundation member Sally B. Phillips underwrote the project, donating $50,000. This covered transportation, appraisal, supply costs, consultant fees, and digitization of the entire collection, as well as establishing the Sally B. Phillips Archival Internship, an internship program awarded each summer for an archivist in training. The collection contains over 300 books from John Volk's personal library, 106 boxes and tubs of business records, periodicals, and personal correspondence, 4,000 photographs, negatives, 35mm slides, and transparencies, and over 24,000 handwritten architectural drawings by John Volk and his staff. We'll get more into the workflow in a few minutes, but first I'm going to tell you about who John Volk was and why this collection is so important to the heritage of the town of Palm Beach. So who was John Volk? Born in 1901, John Volk was a native-born Austrian who came to America as a child. After graduating from Columbia University and École des Beaux-Arts in 1923, Volk worked as an architect in New York. He came to Palm Beach in 1924 and became one of several noted architects who designed lavish estates during the 1920s Florida land boom. Here we can see one of Volk's grand estates, El Retiro. This Mediterranean revival-style Palm Beach mansion was built in 1927 and designated as a historically significant landmark in 1991. Color renderings found within the collection reflect the idyllic Palm Beach landscape and lifestyle. This is the Royal Poinciana Plaza and Playhouse, a 3-acre shopping and entertainment facility which Volk was commissioned to design in the 1950s. He continued to expand and update the plaza for decades after. He also designed many noted commercial buildings in Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. This 1937 streamlined Art Moderne building is the Burdines department store on Clematis Street in West Palm Beach. Volk also designed resorts, homes, and commercial buildings throughout the Caribbean, some of which can still be found in the Bahamas. Some of Volk's other non-residential projects in Palm Beach include the First National Bank building, the Town Hall building on South County Road, and the North Lake Way pumping station. He also completed restoration and expansion work on pre-existing structures. In August 2018, the Preservation Foundation hired movers Gander and White to move the collection from the donor's home to Foundation headquarters. Safely packing and transporting a collection this size required 4 movers, 2 trucks, and several days. Archival consultant Janet DeVries and Foundation intern Katie Wood worked with me to tackle this massive project. Over the course of 5 months, we unpacked, sorted, flattened, rehoused, and created an inventory of more than 24,000 sheets of Volk's architectural drawings. We opened over 500 galvanized steel tubes, many rusted shut, with rolled plans and 120 hollow books with folded plans. We also sorted through decades of photographs, negatives, transparencies, personal correspondence, and business records. Once we established a workflow, we were able to inventory every single item in the collection. To determine the collection's financial value, we hired Robert Hiddle, an experienced appraiser who came to us highly recommended from the faculty at Florida Atlantic University's Special Collections Department. When he arrived, he was flabbergasted at the amount of material Volk had produced throughout his long career. He said that this was the largest architectural collection he had ever been given the opportunity to appraise. For 9 days, Rob and his assistants analyzed the condition and significance of the collection. His expertise was indispensable in understanding the myriad variables in determining the value of a collection like this. The key to any successful archival project is having the right tools for the job. acid-free bond paper, linen tape for minor document repairs, cotton twine, and pencil, always pencil, are the tools of an archivist's trade. As we processed the collection, we encountered the occasional odd rusty paperclip or straight pen, so quite a bit of caution was needed when working with these documents. The condition of the drawings varied. While many of the sheets we worked with were relatively durable vellum, there was also a large portion of the collection drawn on less stable media, like tracing paper and mid-century newsprint. Much of the latter has yellowed with time and required especially delicate handling. One challenging part of the project was unrolling and flattening these papers that had been stored in tubes for decades. We used weights to flatten the documents while we transcribed any identifying information we could find. Many had missing or inconsistent information. This is a good example of a typical drawing. On the bottom right of the sheet, you'll see a cartouche or title block, printed with a commission number and year and some form of location or ownership information. Despite the lack of a street address, the information in the title block provides other hints for sleuthing out the location of these structures. In addition to Volk's own drawings, supplementary materials were often included within a commission. This is a landscape plan produced by the Boynton Landscape Company for a house on North Lake Way in Palm Beach. Although there's no house number, the street name and the original owner's name were good clues in determining the exact location of this property. Here you can see the flattening process we devised. Depending on condition and materials, some commissions could take up to a week to remain flat once we removed the weights. We had to get creative with the weights, using metal paper weights, snake weights, and a lot of books to hold the documents down while they were flattening. During his lifetime, John Volk executed over 2,300 commissions. Many structures underwent multiple additions and alterations over the course of decades as styles changed and buildings changed hands. After we flattened, counted, and added his commissions to the inventory, we housed them in acid-free bond paper sleeves. We labeled the sleeves with the necessary information for easy access. Rob Hiddle's final appraisal valued the collection at just under $1.7 million. The total value of the architectural drawings was $1.3 million. Several variables were used to determine the value of the Volk collection: past sales of comparable collections, historical research, intended use, and the condition of the items. We settled on a file naming convention that includes the commission number, year, address, original owner, quantity, and any cross-reference commissions. As you can see, some fields are blank. There are several reasons an inventory can be incomplete. In this collection, the main information missing was the location, as early commissions were listed by family name rather than street and number. Since Volk's early work on the island, large estates have been subdivided, single lots combined, and new roads created by these subdivisions. I found the social index directories, newspapers.com, the property appraiser's website, and old editions of Palm Beach Life to be the most useful resources in updating and completing outdated or missing information. To save Volk's work in perpetuity, we needed to create a digital copy of each item. We outsourced this work to Westside Reprographics in Riviera Beach. While taking a tour of their facility, I was able to scan a sheet myself. Unfolding, flattening, and feeding the sheets into the scanner can be done up to 3 sheets per minute by a professional. I scanned 1 sheet in about 6 minutes. There's a bit of a learning curve. After 2 years of hard work, the John L. Volk collection is now 100% digitized and housed in our archive, boxed in flat file drawers for drawings, high-quality albums and archival boxes for photos, and boxed archival storage for other materials. The Volk collection will remain protected from the elements and accessible to researchers for decades to come.